Hello student, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Vishwanath Tiwari from Central University of Rajasthan. Today I am going to talk about a module that is molecular motion in membrane and membrane fluidity. This module has been taken from paper Membrane Biophysics. As you know that the membrane is composed of phospholipid and the protein. So the objective of this module is how the membrane have the fluidity and what are the factors involved in membrane fluidity. And you also know that the translocation of the lipid from one leaflet of the membrane to other is known as flip-flop. Flip being the movement of extracytosolic leaflet to cytosolic leaflet, and flop means its reverse, that is from cytosolic leaflet to extracytosolic. Extracytosolic means outer side. So there are few enzymes which are also involved in maintaining the membrane fluidity. So this module is divided into following sections. The first we will discuss about the molecular motion and fluidity of the membrane. Then we will discuss what are the factors influencing the membrane fluidity. Then we will discuss how a phospholipid deficient biomembrane can function, and in the last we will discuss what are the method that is used for measurement of membrane fluidity. Let's have an introduction of membrane. As you know that fluid mosaic model was given by Singer and Nicholson in 1972. Their idea of this model was to show and describe the general structure of a biological membrane. The biological membrane is composed of lipid bilayer, that is essentially a two-dimensional solution composed of lipid and protein. The lipid bilayer function both as a solvent of integral protein as well as permeability barrier. The fluidity of the model, that is fluid mosaic model, is based on the hydrophobic component like proteins and lipids. These two components, protein and lipids, allow for the membrane to have a fluid motion. Therefore, you can say that the membrane is not solid, but it is not made up of one type of macromolecules. The mosaic part is based on the fact that mosaics are created by using different pieces to obtain an overall picture. The mosaic model consists of not just one type of integral component, but rather multiple components such as glycoprotein, phospholipids, glycophospholipids and other components. So based on this model, different pieces are created and they act as a mosaics and they combine together to form a membrane. Hence fluid mosaic model. Different mosaics are embedded into the fluid of phospholipids. Fluidity of the membranes are maintained by diffusion of the lipids. So we will have lateral diffusion, transfer diffusion. So lateral diffusion refers to the lateral movement of the lipids and the protein found in the membranes. Membrane lipids and protein are generally free to move laterally if they are not restricted by certain interactions. Lateral diffusion is mainly quick and a spontaneous process, and lateral diffusion can be tracked by the process that is known as fluorescence recovery after photobleaching, that is FRAP. This is a well-known method to monitor lateral diffusion. This process is available because of use of fluorescent labeled molecules, which allows tracking of the molecules. The cell surface will be labeled first with the chromophore, then analyzed under a fluorescence microscope on a section, that you can say the illuminated area inside the fluorescence microscope. On a specific site, fluorescent molecules are destroyed by bleaching them by using laser light and watching if they leave or enter the illuminated area. So if a molecule is mobile, it has two different stages, bleached and unbleached. If molecule are leaving the illuminated area, this means molecular is bleached. If a molecule is entering the illuminated area, this means that molecule is unbleached. The unbleaching molecules help to increase the fluorescence intensity. Lateral diffusion can also be monitored by measuring the complementary strategy known as fluorescence loss in photobleaching, that is FLIP. In this method, a small area is continuously bleached and fluorescent protein are bleached as they diffused into the it. Eventually, the number of fluorescent protein will decrease and will result in all bleached protein. From both FRAP and FLIP, we can calculate the diffusion coefficient from the bleached protein. Although these two techniques seem promising, but it also has some drawbacks. The one problem is that individual movement of each protein cannot be observed because there are too many bleached or fluorescent protein, such as one cannot say whether each individual protein is immobiline or if they are only restricted to a small area, perhaps by cytoskeleton impediment. In order to circumvent this problem, a technique known as single particle tracking can be utilized. In this method, an individual protein is labeled by antibodies and colored by fluorescent dye or small gold speck. The movement of these proteins are then recorded by video microscopy. With this technique, or you can say using this technique, allow observe the diffusion pathway of a protein periodically. That means you can monitor the path of diffusion. These are the few methods which you can use to monitor the lateral diffusion. So the another diffusion, that is transfer diffusion, or you also can say it is flip-flop movement. So the transfer diffusion or flip-flop movement involves movement of lipid or protein from one membrane surface to other. Unlike lateral diffusion, in transfer diffusion is slow and it requires significant amount of energy for flip-flop to take place. Most large proteins do not flip-flop due to their extensive polar region, which is unfavorable in hydrophobic core of membrane bilayer. This allows the asymmetry of the membrane to be retained for long period, which is an important aspect of cell regulation. In many cells, there will be protein constituents that help in the flip-flop movement, and they are also well known that flipase, flopase and scramblase are the protein which are involved in the flip-flop movement of the lipids and proteins inside the membrane. This can be seen through comparing the flip-flop rate of a man-made lipid bilayer versus a natural bilayer. The flip-flop rate of a man-made lipid bilayer, or you can say liposome or other membrane, is so slow that it can be considered to be idle as compared to the natural bilayer, which indicates the existence of something in the natural bilayer that allows the process of flipping. So the flip-flop rate of phospholipid in biological membrane is far greater than in artificial membrane because of existence of protein known as flipase and phospholipid translocases accelerate the rate of at which the phospholipid move from one side of the bilayer to other side. Similarly, the diffusion coefficient of a fluorescent lipid analogs can be used to monitor the flip-flop movement, and it was found that the diffusion coefficient of the fluorescent lipid analog are about 10 to the power minus 8 centimeter square per second in fluid lipid membrane, and in the gel lipid membrane and natural biomembrane the diffusion coefficient was found to be 10 to the power minus 11 centimeter square per second to 10 to the power minus 9 centimeter square per second. Stop. As we have discussed the membrane fluidity, let's have discussed what are the factors that influence membrane fluidity. So membrane fluidity can be influenced by 4 different biochemical configurations. These 4 biochemical configuration includes: first, degree of membrane hydration; second, membrane cholesterol level; third, the ratio of cylindrical shaped phospholipid to triangular shaped phospholipids such as phosphatidylcholine versus phosphatidylethanolamine; and membrane fatty acid composition. A highly hydrated membrane is less fluid than dehydrated membrane because water molecule can form hydrogen bond with the phosphate of adjacent phospholipid. The dehydration of a membrane increase molecular motion and increase membrane fluidity. Cholesterol decreases molecular motion of the phospholipid by insertion into hydrophobic region of the membrane and forming hydrogen bond with adjacent phospholipid through hydroxyl group of the cholesterol molecule. You can say that cholesterol decreases molecular fluidity. The membrane rich in cylindrical shaped phospholipid such as phosphatidylcholine form membrane bilayer with a high packaging order, and membrane rich in triangular shaped phospholipid such as phosphatidylethanolamine fall out of their bilayer configuration and adopt hexagonal meshes and have large space between the hexagonal meshes. So you can say that how the composition of phospholipid also alter the packaging. Similarly, the membrane rich in saturated fatty acid chain are less fluid, or you can say exist more in gel form because of higher melting point of long chain fatty acid which is saturated. Short chain fatty acid have less packaging and more fluidic in nature. Therefore, you can say the sort of the high packaging order is created by closely spaced phospholipid. Similarly, the membrane rich in unsaturated fatty acid are more fluid because of low packaging order, and they are created by presence of cis bond in the fatty acid of adjacent phospholipid. It was also seen if you compare a coconut oil with the mustard oil, you will find that the coconut oil have more saturated fatty acid which lead to its crystalline or packaging form existing at normal temperatures. So more saturated, better packaging, less fluidity. More unsaturation, less packaging, more fluidity. The fluidity of the membrane determines the extent in which molecule can transport and signals can be transducted through the membrane. The membrane fluidity is a function of its fatty acid and cholesterol content. Fatty acid chain may be ordered and rigid or may be disordered or fluid, which affect the fluidity of membrane in which they are contained. And you also seen the long chain fatty acid are able to form a stronger intermolecular interaction which restrict membrane fluidity, Bend and nick in the fatty acid chain formed as a result of unsaturated cis and trans double bond that may interfere with the intermolecular interaction and its promote fluidity. Membrane fluidity can therefore be controlled by varying the number of double bond and length of fatty acid chain. Meanwhile, the presence of bulky cholesterol molecule within the membrane restrict the fluidity. Cholesterol is a key regulator of membrane fluidity in animals. It is able to interact with and form a specific complexes with phospholipids that is called lipid raft that concentrate in a specific region of the membrane. Lipid rafts result in moderation of membrane fluidity or decrease in the membrane fluidity, which causes membrane to be less fluid, but they also make them less vulnerable to phase transition. Cholesterol is comprised of steroid with hydroxyl group conjugated at one end and hydrocarbon chain at other. The rising of the steroid and hydrocarbon chain are able to insert themselves into the phospholipid bilayer of the membrane and participate in hydrophobic interaction, while the polar hydroxyl group interact with the polar head group of surrounding phospholipid. The extent of fluidity can be determined by membrane melting temperature. Melting temperature is a temperature at which 50% of the membrane exists in oil form and 50% exists in solid form or liquid solid transition. So 50% solubilization of the membrane. As heat increases, the membrane make a sharp transition from solid to more fluid state. A low melting temperature indicate the presence of fatty acid that promote fluidity, while high melting temperature indicates the presence of fatty acid and cholesterol that resist fluidity. The melting temperature can also be affected by ability of molecule to pack themselves. The characteristics such as saturation of the fatty acid, double bond, cis and trans double bond in the fatty acid, length of the fatty acid will affect the melting temperature. When comparing saturation versus unsaturation, saturated fatty acid will have higher melting temperature because the residue will react with each other, causing fatty acid to be in more rigid state. The specific type of double bond also affect the melting temperature. Cis double bond have a lower melting point or temperature compared to trans double bond because they cannot pack themselves into the crystal, as well as the trans double bond have better packaging. This is the reason why fats with cis double bond more readily exist in solid state and enter into the liquid state. The longer chain of fatty acid will have high melting point because compared to the shorter chain, there are more bonds to break. The more bond present means higher the melting temperature. The molecular motion in the membrane and membrane fluidity is based on the viscosity of the lipid bilayer of a cell membrane or synthetic lipid membrane. The viscosity of the membrane can affect the rotation and diffusion of the protein and other biomolecules within the membrane. Therefore, they are affecting the function of these molecular motion. The membrane fluidity can be affected by number of factors. Few factors are: one way to increase membrane fluidity is to heat up the membrane. Lipid acquire thermal energy when they are heated up. An energetic lipid move around with more movement, arrange and rearranging randomly and making the membrane more fluid. At low temperature, the lipids are laterally ordered and organized in the membrane, and lipid chain are mostly in all trans configuration and packed well together. The composition of the membrane can also affect its fluidity. The membrane phospholipid incorporate fatty acid of various length and saturation. The lipid with shorter chain are less stiff and less viscous because they are more susceptible to change in kinetic energy. Due to their smaller molecular size, they have less surface area to undergo a stabilized van der Waals interaction with neighboring hydrophobic chains. The lipid chain with double bond are more fluid than lipid with saturated with hydrogen, and hence only a single bond containing saturated fatty acids restrict movement and decreases fluidity. On molecular level, unsaturated double bond make it harder for lipid to pack together by putting nick into strained neighboring hydrocarbon chain. The membrane made with such unsaturated lipid, have lower melting point because less thermal energy is required to achieve the same level of fluidity as membrane made up with lipid with saturated chains. Therefore, the incorporation of particular lipid such as sphingomyelin into synthetic lipid is known to stiffen a membrane. Such molecule membrane can be described as a glass state, are rigid but without crystalline order. The cholesterol act as a bidirectional regulator of membrane fluidity because at high temperature it stabilizes the membrane and raises its melting point, whereas at low temperature it interacts with the phospholipid and prevent them from clustering together and stiffing. Some drugs such as losartan are also known to alter membrane viscosity. The melting of charged lipid molecules such as DMPG, that is 1,2-dimeristoyl SN-glycerol 3-phosphoglycerol, can take place over a wide range of temperature. With this range of temperature, the membrane becomes very viscous. We have discussed that phospholipid in the membrane are very important for membrane integrity and fluidity. Let's assume if you don't have phospholipid in the membrane or you have very less phospholipids. So a study of electron spin resonance of thylakoid membrane and aqueous dispersion of their total extracted lipid labeled with stearic acid spin label or doxyl moiety reveal the fluidity gradient. Decreasing line width from 5th to 16 carbon represents increased degree of motion freedom, or you can say the fluidity gradient from head group side to methyl terminal in both native membrane and their aqueous lipid extract, which is a multilamellar liposomal structure typical to lipid bilayer organization. This pattern points at similarity of lipid bilayer organization in both native structures and liposomes. This observation is critical because thylakoid membrane comprises mainly galactolipids and contain 10% phospholipids, unlike other biological membrane which is rich in phospholipids. And protein in the chloroplast thylakoid membrane apparently restrict lipid fatty ester chain segments mobility from 9 to 16 carbon via their liposomal counterparts. Surprisingly, the liposomal fatty acid chain are more restricted at 5 and 7th carbon position as compared to these position in thylakoid membrane. This is explainable as due to the motion restricting effect of these position because of steric hindrance by large chloroplast head group in especially in liposomes. However, in native thylakoid membrane, chloroplasts are mainly complex with the protein such as light harvesting complex and may not largely be free to restrain the lipid fluidity as such. So in this way you can say that liposome, which is artificially constructed using the component of the thylakoid membrane, and thylakoid membrane having phospholipid deficiency membrane, they have the different behavior and they are going to tell us how a phospholipid deficient membrane is going to have fluidity maintained in the membranes. What are the methods that used to measure membrane fluidity? So membrane fluidity can be measured by electron spin resonance, fluorescence, deuterium NMR, etc. So ESR measurement involve observing spin probe behavior in the membrane. Fluorescence experiment involve observing fluorescent probe incorporation in the membrane. Solid state deuterium NMR involve observing denudated lipids. The technique are complementary in such a way that because they operate at different time scale. Membrane fluidity can be described by two different type of motions. First is rotational and other is lateral. In ESR, rotational correlation time of spin probe is used to characterize how much restriction is imposed on the probe by the membrane. And in fluorescence, steady state anisotropy of the probe can be used in addition to the rotation correlation time of the fluorescent probe. Fluorescent probe show varying degree of preference for being in an environment of restricted motion. In heterogeneous membrane, some probe will only found in region of higher membrane fluidity, while other are only found in the region of lower membrane fluidity. The partitioning preferences of the probe can also be guess of membrane fluidity. In deuterium NMR, the average carbon deuterium bond orientation of denudated lipid give rise to the specific spectroscopic features. All these three techniques can give some measure of time average orientation of relevant probe molecules, which is an indicative of rotational dynamics of the molecule. As we have discussed in the previous sections of this module, the lateral motion of the molecule within the membrane can also be monitored by different fluorescence techniques such as fluorescence recovery after bleaching, that is photobleaching, that is FRAP, which involve photobleaching of uniform labeled membrane with the intense laser beam and measuring how long it takes for fluorescent probe to diffuse back into the photobleach spot. The second method is fluorescence correlation spectroscopy, which monitor fluctuations in fluorescence intensity measured after a small number of probe in a small space. These fluctuations are affected by mode of lateral diffusion of the probe. Then we have single particle tracking, which involve trajectory of the fluorescent molecule or gold particle attached to a biomolecule and applying statistical analysis to extract information about the lateral diffusion of tracked particle. Let's summarize what we have discussed in this module. We have discussed that membrane is composed of phospholipid in the form of bilayer and protein embedded into it. We have discussed membrane fluidity, and we have discussed that composition of the membrane will influence the membrane fluidity, and we have discussed that membrane fluidity is maintained by diffusion, which is either lateral or transfer. We have discussed what is the role of different enzymes such as flipases, flopases, scramblases in the maintaining the membrane fluidity. The fatty acid present in the phospholipid will also have influence on the membrane fluidity or melting temperature of the membrane. The membrane fluidity is also monitored as a melting temperature of the membrane, because if membrane is more fluid, it have less melting temperature. So in this module we have signifies the role of different components in the membrane functions and integrity by influencing the movement of membrane biomolecules.